Hello, folks. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to Stay Well with Dr. Zorba Pastor.
I think that's me. It is me. It is me.
You had to think about that.
Well, when I hear the song,
Now you know
every
it's
day
you.
I sing that song. I get up.
You get up to that song?
Get up. I jump out of bed, put on my clothes, and I'm ready to go. And if you believe that, I will tell you other funny stories.
All right, I'm Karl Christensen. I'm sitting across the desk.
From the one and only.
A genuine article. You can do my job for me. I don't even need to do this intro, do I?
Yes.
Maybe I do.
You
okay,
do.
good.
Yes,
you hesitated on that.
Yes.
You
No,
hesitated
I
on
didn't
that.
hesitate.
Let's
I was just thinking. I'm always thinking.
You are always
thinking.
Big show today. Let's talk about what
We
we're
do.
going to learn. We're going to look at new research suggesting that the HPV vaccine can help fend off certain types of cancer
In men.
in men.
That's right.
Brand new
Right.
research.
We know it works in women. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the new information that talks about HPV vaccination for boys.
Interesting. Zorba's going to help out a caller. We'll get to some listener emails. We're going to talk about e-bikes, and my mom's going to tee up one of her famous mom jokes.
That's right.
You were going to do mom jokes. I can tell you're about to do the theme song. Phone number to call anytime, 608-492-9292.
Email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. Spell it out, askdrzorba@gmail.com. And of course, I've got my website, drzorba.org.
Good stuff on that website. A lot of your articles that you write for all the different papers
A lot
and
of good
stuff. All right, Zorba, let's kick off the healthy living topic. We got new research from JAMA showing that the HPV vaccine can reduce cancer risk in half.
In men. So we're talking about. So first of all, let me talk about women and HPV vaccine. And the best time to get the HPV vaccine is before basically you go through puberty. I think it's 12 and under. I can't remember. It's somewhere around that age. We know that giving it to young kids for whatever reason it works better. It's now approved for people up to the age of 26, and it may be improved beyond that. But we know for whatever reason the reduction in human papillomavirus cancers is less the later you get the vaccine.
Okay.
So I want to just mention that at first, because a number of people did not want to give their kids the vaccine because they said, well, wait a minute, if we give a vaccine for human papillomavirus that you get from having sex, we're encouraging sex in our children. Now, how old is your oldest child?
11.
So if you said to your child, I have to get an HPV vaccine, why would you even mention sex in that discussion
Right.
when you're with your child at the doctor's office?
Right.
We never even talked about that. So there was a lot of silliness that was around that. But let's look at what it did. So there's been data that's come out over the last year out of Scotland and out of Scandinavia with women, and have shown that there's been a dramatic drop in cervical cancer for women, 75%, 78%, somewhere in that range, who actually get the HPV vaccine. In other words, this is a vaccine that prevents cancer. Who wouldn't give their child a vaccine that prevents cancer? Of course, you want to give your kids something that prevents cancer. So the HPV vaccine, this recent study that was in JAMA Oncology, looked at healthy data from around 500,000 young men, 26 and under, as young as 10, which is when you can give it up to 26, and looked at HPV-related cancers, and they have found a tremendous, 50% drop in human papillomavirus in young men. Now, these are head and neck cancers, esophageal cancers, penile cancers, and anal cancers. So these are, and they're not even talking about cancers that occur in the lymph nodes. That happens when you're much older, when you're often in the 40s and 50s. Let me give you, and in your tongue. So I'll give a good example. I've got a good friend of mine who lives in California, kind of a wild and crazy guy, very promiscuous, okay? One of these, guys who are very promiscuous, eventually settled down, got married. He and his wife got divorced, then had a second marriage, and he developed cancer of the tongue. The cancer of the tongue that he had, he's now in my age, that is still being treated with radiation, is HPV-related cancer of the tongue.
Oh, wow.
And he got it basically by having oral genital sex with somebody who had human papillomavirus. We did not know that a lot of the head and neck cancers and the cancer of the tongue and stuff are often from either HPV, human papillomavirus related cancers. I had another friend who worked at Maui gyms He was one of the guys who was in Maui gyms. He ran it in Maui. I knew him, died a couple of years ago from an HPV-related cancer. He was very promiscuous when he was younger, had an HPV-related cancer, treated it. The treatment worked for a few years, then he ultimately died from it. So the reason that I think this is important is, especially for people under the age of 26, and certainly for our listeners who have children or have grandchildren, is that this is an anti-cancer vaccine. And the real issue is not should you give it, but why would you not give it? I mean, there are two ways to look at this. Like, why should I give my child, or my young adult, why should I take a vaccine? Well, it prevents cancer. That's easy to do. The real issue is, why would you not do it? And if the question is you question the vaccine safety, it's been around now for about 15, 20 years, go read about it and make a decision and do it on two hands. You've got, just like that, just like the justice, the scale of justice,
Sure.
The woman is she's blindfolded and she's holding two things. There are the possible side effects from the vaccine. Read about it. Pain at the site, little discomfort, a little temperature for a day or two. You've got to give 2 or 3 doses. Okay, that's on one side. Prevention of cancer in the future for boys and girls, men and women. On the other side, you decide, what would you rather, if you look back, what would you rather regret? You regret that your child or young adult is going to get a temperature for a few days, or you're going to regret that your child actually got a cancer that was caused by human papillomavirus. Look at it that way, then you make the decision. I'm all for people making that individual decision. We know when it came to COVID, we just said everybody's got to get the COVID vaccine, and that was the wrong thing to say. What we should have said, everyone should get the information for the COVID vaccine. You decide whether or not it's right for you. For the human papillomavirus, from my point of view, the right answer is prevent cancer, and this study shows there was at least a 50% drop, and when we go another 5 or 10 years, we might discover it's a 70 or 80% drop. It's the vaccine to take for any child or young adults.
If you have a question for the good doc, you can call this number anytime, 608-492-9292.
And by the way, 77% of the boys aged 13 to 17 within the last couple of years have actually received the vaccine. That is good news. People have started to give this to their boys. Very good news. And I wanted to give that up to date because it's always nice when something else comes in my mind. Remember me, folks. Ask Dr. Zorba at gmail.com. I will answer your questions, probably.
I like that. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's try to help out a caller from Fish Creek, Wisconsin. Hi.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Very good, thanks.
Yeah, hi. My name is Rich, and I was going through catching up on your podcasts.
Well, thank you.
And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. I've been listening to your podcast for a number of years, at least 10 years.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And there was one on March 4th from somebody else in Fish Creek that was having the exact same problem I'm having, which was kind of eerie. Yeah, it's some sinus pressure when you lay down. And I've always had sinus issues. Now, during the podcast, you mentioned arterial vein malformation might be like the worst thing that could possibly be.
Very rare. Actually, this is one of the things that they were concerned about. They might have read about it, this thing called an AV malformation, which is quite often does not necessarily cause any symptoms. But that's probably 1 in 10,000, very rare. It's 1 in 10,000. I mean, most people have sinus problems. It has nothing to do with that at all. So tell me about what sort of problems you're having.
Well, I had the exact same procedures as that other person. Had a couple of CT scans, had an MRI, and an MRI. And an MRA as well.
And an MRA. Well, that, by the way, would have picked all of that up. But you had an MRA and an MRI and a CT, and because you had what symptoms? I mean, you had the whole ball of wax.
Pressure behind the nose, by temples, and postnasal drip. I've had sinusitis, sinus infections a number of times, and I think the doctors are a little hesitant giving too many antibiotics. And I've tried all of the nasal sprays. You name it, Flonase, Claritin D, Afrin, Atrovent. And the last person I saw told me to just use Flonase.
Well, Flonase, they all work a little bit differently. I'm going to get back to your symptoms, and then I'll give you some suggestions. So if you were to label your number one symptom, what would that be?
Pressure. Pressure behind the nose, yes.
Now, besides pressure, do you have any other symptoms? Do you have any nasal flow or don't have any nasal flow?
Oh, yeah, I have nasal flow.
Okay. When you go to sleep at night, how much does it bother you?
A little bit. When I lay down, I get more. The pressure increases.
Pressure increases. That's fullness and pressure. And this has been going on for how long?
At least 4 or 5 years.
Any surgery? Have you had any surgery on your sinuses?
No. In fact, I was considering maybe a sinuplasty.
Well, I mean, there's surgery. I'm going to give you some recommendations before the surgery, but sometimes you need surgery to actually open those things up. I mean, it all depends on your symptoms. There's a trade-off. I tell people whenever you have surgery, especially with your sinuses, you have to think twice. Now, it doesn't sound like you tried the spray called Astepro. It's now over the counter. Astepro. Did you try that?
As a matter of fact, I bought it about a week ago. I tried it for a day or two, and it has a nasty.
It's kind of sharp. It's got a little spice to it. Yeah, it does. It has a little spice to it. Yeah, it's got some spice to it.
I like spice.
Yeah, I like some spice to it. So I have a few recommendations. Number one, to start out, take the Astepro 3 times a day. Now, you're going to say, wait a minute, I look at the package insert and it says once a day. My recommendation is no, 3 times a day, because a recent article about within the last year interestingly showed that Astepro had an effect on COVID, that it appeared to reduce the risk of getting COVID and reduces the risk of some other viruses. So my first question is, maybe you've got some virus that's hanging around there. And I would use Astepro to the max, which is more than the package insert. When they got it approved, once a day relieves some symptoms, they're going to stick with that. So I want you to use the Astepro 3 times a day, not once a day. Take the spice, use it 3 times a day. Number two, do you have a vaporizer? Vaporizer, like you had,
No.
I want you to get a vaporizer. Go to the store, get an ultrasonic vaporizer, or you can go to, have you ever heard of Amazon? That's the truck. That's the truck that goes to in front of your house every morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Those little guys.
Yeah, those little guys. Go to Amazon and get an ultrasonic vaporizer. They cost about $30, $35. That's all. You don't have to spend $60 or $80. You'll get more bells and whistles. You get an ultrasonic vaporizer. You put it next to your bed where you sleep, and you put it up as high as it will go, so it moisturizes the air that you're breathing at night. People do not have enough moist air in their nose at night. Remember, you're spending 6 to 8 hours of sleep in your night. That's where you spend 1/3 of your life. Got to moisturize it, okay? That's what I want you to do. And the third thing I want you to do, are you taking any antihistamine at all?
I've tried some, yes.
Okay. I want you to go get Zyrtec, which is the most powerful of the 3. And a day or 2 later, I don't want you to do the Zyrtec and the Astepro at the same time. Give the Astepro a bit of time to get used to that spice. And then a day or 2 later, I want you, if you say, hey, I can handle it, I want you to do Zyrtec, and I don't want you to take 1 pill. I want to see if you tolerate 3 pills. Now, Zyrtec, in 3 pills, makes some people sleepy. And it's okay. You can take over-the-counter antihistamines easily up to 4 of them a day. 4 of them, not Benadryl, which is 50 milligrams a day, because that would knock you out. But the non-sedating antihistamines, when you increase them, it increases their ability to work. But for some people, it makes them more. It sedates them more. So when the drugs came to market, they made sure they stayed below the threshold of sedation for 95% of the people using it. But the drugs can be pushed. So I would take Zyrtec. I'd go to 2 a day. If you tolerate it, I'd go to 3 a day and stick to that. So you've got Astropro, you've got Zyrtec, you've got a vaporizer. See if that works. That might do it. And that's a non-surgical way that you can handle this.
That's okay, but that sounds like a little overkill on the dosage. You
Oh, no,
say
it
it's
is. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
huh?
Oh, yeah, but all the antihistamines, we do that. Claritin 3 times. Claritin, I do that for people. Yeah, it's not overkill. It's the way the drug, it's the way they allow the drug to go in. Now, once again, if it makes you sleepy, that's different. But some people need to have a higher dose of antihistamine. And it really is well tolerated by probably 80% of the population. But when they got the drug approved from the FDA, they wanted it approved as a non-sedating antihistamine, so they had to take it below what they did. It's really very powerful used at a higher dose, and if it makes you sleepy, then you don't want to go to that higher dose. Okay.
No,
Well,
okay,
remember,
no.
you're taking the Astropro also 3 times a day. My goal here is to give you the full court press to see if this works. Now, let's assume for a minute that you go, hey, this is working for me. Stay on that higher dose probably for a month of all of those. And then you may not need that higher dose. First thing I would do is go from the Zyrtec 3 times a day to twice a day. I'd stick with the Astropro. Then I'd probably go to once a day. And if you're doing well, you may reduce the Astropro. But if we can get rid of your pressure without surgery, and these drugs are very safe, that's a pop and wow.
Okay. And how long do you say I should stay on Astropro?
I would do it for a month, and then I would reduce.
A month?
Yeah. Oh, definitely do it for a month. You've had it. Whatever you have, it's stuck in your nose. Whatever you have, it's in your nose and in your sinuses.
Okay.
It's up there. And a number of studies have showed that these quite often are fungal infections, kind of smoldering fungal infections or mold infections that we don't know about. We don't really understand that very well. Antihistamines, we know, on the whole, after a while, they don't do anything. They really don't. They're not effective. These are not bacterial infections. There's something else going on there. Okay. And frankly, the data doesn't really show exactly what it is. Once again, they look like they may be fungal, but it may be just a virus hanging around. And the goal is to get rid of that virus with the Astropro and get rid of some of the allergic inflammation by an increased dose of Zyrtec, and then continue with your other steroid nasal spray. Full court press.
Okay, great. Now here's something I'm going to try now, which I recently purchased, is a red light laser that you put on inside your nostrils.
You could try that too. Add that to the whole thing.
Have you ever heard that? Have you ever
There's
heard
a
of
lot.
that red
There's
light?
a lot of hub in the biosphere about red light and whether or not red light works. So I wouldn't give that up. I would use that too. You want to do everything to avoid surgery. Most importantly, you would like to know whether or not you can get rid of this pressure. But I don't think I would do the red light at the same time that you're doing what I said, because otherwise you're not going to know if it does anything.
Okay, yeah, I thought you might. I'm not quite sure if that's a quacky thing you might want to use on your quacking up a Dr. Zorba.
I don't recommend. I respect complementary and alternative medicine, but I'm a science geek. Yeah, I'm Dr. Science. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank
you know what? Call us back. I'd like to know what happens. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right. You take
Great
care
talking
now.
to you.
Great talking.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Karl.
Tell me, Zorba.
You know how much I love coffee.
Oh, you
right?
love coffee.
Years ago, I tried Just Coffee Co-op's Bike Fuel.
Bike fuel.
Medium roast coffee. Yeah. And I was smitten. It's fair trade, organic coffee. I bought it and I am hooked.
You're still drinking it today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Just Coffee Cooperative. It's a worker-owned fair trade and organic coffee roasting co-op in Madison, Wisconsin. And they're dedicated to a model of commerce based on transparency, respect for labor, and environmental sustainability.
That's right, Karl. No flavors, no additives, just coffee. And guess what, listeners? If you use the code ZORBA10, you'll get 10% off your entire order on their website, www.justcoffee.coop. Just Coffee Cooperative. Justice from the grounds up.
608-492-9292. You can call that hotline anytime you want. What else can you do here, Zorba?
I think you could do an email.
Sure.
Remember email? Ask Dr. Zorba at gmail.com, because basically we love to have some of them on the air, and I'd love to answer them. So write me, spell it out, ask Dr. Zorba at gmail.com, and the website, drzorba.org.
Very good. I even knew that last letter. Let's do one of those emails now. Let's see if the doc can help somebody out here. This is from a listener named Jen, who writes,
Okay.
I've listened to one of your podcasts.
Thank you.
Hopefully she's listened to more, but at least in this email, I listened to one of your podcasts.
When somebody says, I've listened to one of your podcasts, does that mean they haven't listened to two other podcasts?
One and done.
God.
They were out. No, Jen says, I listened to one of your podcasts where you discussed that repetitive, constant throat clearing that could be related to acid reflux.
Yes.
I believe you recommended omeprazole,
Yes.
Prilosec over the counter.
Correct.
At what dosage, and is famotidine better? My father has had this issue for a few years and is very sensitive about receiving advice about it. His doctor hasn't made any suggestions that help. Thank you.
Well, first of all, the PPIs, that's the group of drugs, omeprazole, and there are two others on the market over the counter, are better. They're a different class of drugs. Take the dose. If that doesn't work, double the dose. That's what we would do in the pharmaceutical. Prilosec is the most common first dose, 20 milligrams once a day, but sometimes it's 20 milligrams twice a day on an empty stomach, 30 minutes before you eat. Best way to do it, 20, 30 minutes. So I tell people, when you jump out of bed, who jumps out of bed?
Not me.
Get out of bed, and kids don't jump out of bed. They want to stay in bed. But anyway, when you get out of bed, before you brush your teeth, take it. Because, by the time you brush your teeth and you get ready, go downstairs. If you go downstairs, you go and have some coffee. That's the best way to take it. And twice a day can work better than once a day. Doubling the dose can work. Now, the other drugs, which are called H2 blockers, are good, and famotidine is in that class. That works for many people. Not quite as strong as the omeprazole, but that can do it. Anything that cuts down an acid reflux works. Some people actually take both of them together. They take famotidine at night, and they take omeprazole or one of the other PPIs in the morning. They do cut down on coughing in many people. Many people have a GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Cough it. It can be common, and it's from acid that goes from the stomach up into basically the carina, which is the area of the lungs, causes an irritation, a little bit more mucus, and then we cough. Cough.
Okay.
Can you cough? Let me hear it.
Do I turn my head first? I will, just for fun.
Turn your gut. That was a good cough. Do it again.
Thank you. Other way.
Yeah. Now, when you go to the doctor's office and they say cough, usually what are they going to do then? Come on. You know what that is.
I'll turn my
Check
head.
your hernias. Turn your head.
Is that what it is? So it's a hernia check? That's what it is? What was
Well, we do some. You mean you want to know what actually happens in a case? We don't have you cough without. What we do is we put your finger into your scrotum and go up the inguinal canal. And when you cough, we're trying to see whether or not any intestine, which is a hernia, pushes into the tip of the finger.
Okay.
That's what we do. And if you're a doctor or a PA or a nurse practitioner, you've done it. You know what it feels like. You basically shouldn't feel something, or it should be just a little touch, and you can tell whether or not somebody has a hernia. That's what you do.
This email really took a left turn, man. I did not know we were going to go here. But it goes where it goes.
You know what? We're always interested in educating the public. And now that you coughed, I decided to go to that. Yeah.
Anyways.
My brain works in strange ways.
That's true. It really does.
Cough.
Have a healthy living question for Zorba. You can post it on our Facebook page. You can email askdrzorba@gmail.com, or you can call the phone line.
That's right. 608-492-9292.
Great number.
It's a great number. I've even called it up.
You have? Do you ask for your own advice, or what? How do you?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, I ask for my own advice.
Do you like the advice you get?
Let's
move on.
Let's move on with the show.
Let's do a voicemail. So when you call that great number, you can leave a voicemail anytime you want, and let's do one of those. This is someone from Logan, Utah.
Hi, Dr. Zorba. What do you think of the Neuro Honey blend to help with brain fog and Alzheimer's. Thanks. Bye.
Neuro honey, or sometimes it's called brain honey. It's a supplement. Have you heard of it at all?
I've heard of brain honey.
Okay.
People are taking all kind of supplements for their brain.
Mm-hmm.
For their brain. Let me tell you what works, because there is evidence. First of all, we know that exercise works.
Sure.
Very interesting. Lots of data on it, lots of studies on it, that exercise clears the brain. Period. What does that mean? I have no idea. I just know that it works and it helps the memory. So regular exercise helps the memory. Number 2, and whatever helps your cardiovascular system helps your brain. And the reason is the brain has little strokes from the cardiovascular system. It's the vascular system in the brain. Blood pressure, making sure you eat a Mediterranean diet, making sure that you take care of cholesterol if it's there. All of those things, that work for your heart are also going to work for your brain. Number 3, thinking and doing things. Reading, when you read a book that's like a novel, you are using your imagination. The brain is a muscle. When you're watching TV, it's relaxing because you're not doing much. It's audio, visual, you're looking at things. So reading is very important. They say crossword puzzles. I don't think it matters. Puzzles work, but really it's thinking and creating. Those are things that work. Then what supplements work? Well, there's no supplement that we've given long enough to know that they actually work. I do now think a multivitamin is very good. Very important. If you have a B12 deficiency or think you can take an extra 1,000 mics of B12. I think that may help. That may help too. Vitamin D, I think, is very useful. I think that's important, making sure you get enough calcium. And whether or not the honey, other symptoms, I don't really know. There's no good scientific evidence for or against, so you have to make a decision yourself. And you look at the complementary and alternative medicine literature and figure out if it works. From the scientific point of view, no harm, no foul. I don't know anything about it because there's no good data about it. And as for spending, a lot of money, something like Prevagen, which has jellyfish extract. I think that's rubbish.
That leads us into a mom joke, I feel like. So it's time to do a mom joke. My mom writes jokes. You guys know this. I don't have to set this up every time, do I?
No, you
Zorba
don't.
knows it well.
Go ahead.
Just push the button,
Yeah,
Karl.
push
play the mom
push
joke.
the button.
Here we go.
Mom jokes.
Why should staffing agencies never employ atheists? 'Cause those folks don't believe in the higher power.
Higher power? I think she said higher.
Higher.
Like hiring?
HIRE.
Yeah, there it is.
Higher
Good
power.
one, Mom.
Your brain definitely came from your mother. She says the same laugh track somewhere in her brain.
I like that one, Mom.
Yeah. Did she joke a lot when you grew up?
Not as much as my dad, but yeah, she definitely has a great sense of humor, as does her
Clearly.
mom. My grandma, had a great sense
Your
of humor.
grandmother had a
really
great sense of
funny,
humor?
Very funny.
So-
in a very like Scandinavian farmer type of way. She
give
grew
me
up
an
on a
example.
farm. And
Scandinavian farmer.
Yeah.
Give me an
Oh,
example.
gosh, you put
Give
me
a
on the
Scandinavian. Give me a Scandinavian farmer joke. Come on.
Oh boy,
You can do it.
Sven and Oli, aren't those
Yeah,
those
Sven
jokes?
and Oli.
I don't even know any right now.
Yeah.
Do you know any of those?
No, I'm
Hey,
asking
listeners,
you.
send us
It's your
some because
mom.
I don't know any.
Yeah, our listeners send us. By the
Oli
way,
and
we do
Sven.
want to spend it only, and I have to tell you, a number of years ago, I was with my best bud Dan, and we're cross country skiing, and we're going through the cemetery in Madison, and we're looking at the stones as we're kind of going through the cemetery, cross country skiing, and we came. Hard to believe, but it really was. It was the mother lode. We came to, a monument, a memorial, and it was Sven and Oli.
Really?
Yes, I thought, and I did not take a picture. I've never found it again.
I thought you were setting
It's
a
the
joke up here. This is real. There's
it
a real
really
Sven and
was.
Oli?
It really was a Sven, and I thought to myself, I wonder if they were the jokesters, the original jokesters. Yeah, no, it was really that. I've got it in my brain. I did not have my phone, so I could not take a picture. It was really, it's a sad day. I never found it. There really was a Sven and Oli.
I bet some listener might chime in and email us.
Hey,
maybe
we're
a
looking
photo
for
of that
it.
or something.
Chime in,
Yeah.
ask Dr. Zorba at gmail.com or call us at 608-492-9292. And if you have a picture of the Sven and Only Monument in the cemetery in Madison on Speedway, please send us that photo at askdrzorba@gmail.com, and I will send you something back, a treat of some sort.
I like that.
If
That's
I get the
nice.
picture, I will send something back.
Okay.
I promise.
Sounds good. That's a promise, folks.
I promise.
All right, let's do another listener email. This came from Eileen, who writes, "Hi, Dr. Zorba. I really enjoy the podcast. I've heard you talk about your electric bike and how much you enjoy it.
I love it.
Love your e-bike.
I love it.
Do you recommend a particular brand, or what should I look for when I'm purchasing one? Me and my husband are your age, and knock on wood, as Grandma used to say, we're in pretty good health. Thank you for any info you can share."
Well, my bike is a Rad bike,
Rad?
Seattle,
R-A-D, okay.
R-A-D, not Red, R-A-D. I love it. They had some battery problems, and then they were going to have to recall for some of the batteries, not the one that I have on my Rad bike, because it's got a serial number. It wasn't an issue. The company was a small company, and for them to recall all of their bikes, they couldn't do that with that. So instead, they filed for bankruptcy, and then got another company that bought them out because they have a really good bike. And it turned out their new bikes, batteries are just fine. I love my Rad bike. Find a bike that works for you. I love Rad, worked really, really well. Go to a couple different places. You find one. I had one. It's got a chunky wheel. It's got really big tires. And I bike 10 times more. I mean, I've got my older bike that I had, which was a truck bike. They also make really good bikes. And my regular truck bike has a thinner wheel. The older I get, the fatter I want
A little more stability.
Yeah, a little more stability.
Yeah. Do you test drive it before you recommend that before you buy a bike?
Did I test drive my bike?
Yeah, your e-bike.
course.
You have to, right?
You got to test drive, see if it fits with you. Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was in Seattle. 2 of my kids are in Seattle. So I tried the Rad bikes. Oh, I definitely would test it. I wouldn't just get it in the mail.
Yeah.
And once again, the bikes have gotten better and better and better. You want to choose one that fits well for you, that you can get your leg over without basically causing you problems.
Right.
Can you picking the problems? Come on, you got to have a joke for that. What
I
kind of
don't,
problems?
but
there's no joke in there.
Something in the,
you know.
about a saddle.
Yeah,
or,
you got, but you
yeah.
have to pick a saddle that's really good. You've got to pick one. I mean, I've got one. You know, there used to be boys' bikes and girls' bikes. Why did the boys' bike, have,
Yeah.
why was
Those
it like
things
that?
are gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pick a bike that really works for
Yeah.
you. That sits well in your crotch.
And also go to your local bike store.
Go to
right?
your local
Yeah.
bike store. But I
Support
went. But
your local
I
bike store.
Yes.
You're not going to
No
argue with that, are
chances.
you?
No, I'm not going to argue with that. Do a lot of searching, just like you go to Consumer Reports and others,
Mm-hmm.
or Wirecutter. Pick out things that you think are good for you, and then fit in what you're doing.
All right, we got to wrap this one up, Zorba. What did we learn today? We talked about the HPV vaccine and how it
Yes.
could reduce cancer risk
Yes,
in men.
major
study. Mm-hmm.
kit. Boys and girls should both get them.
That's right. You helped out a caller with sinus issues.
That's right.
Helped out a listener with some throat clearing. Talked about brain honey. Heard a mom joke, and you just talked about e-bikes. We do a
Yes,
lot on this show.
We did a
don't
lot
we?
on the show.
We did a lot.
A lot on the show. And remember, you can call 608-492-92. Ask Dr. Zorba at gmail.com. And don't forget our website, drzorba.org. And stay well.